Castle Park next to Gifford in East Lothian was the venue for this year's Stephen Gallacher Foundation Trophy and Vase events. 54 holes of stroke play golf for the competitors over a course that was firm underfoot, had thick summer rough and very testing breezy conditions. Megan Docherty was out to defend her title in the Vase competition, but there was guaranteed to be a new name on the trophy for the boys, with reigning champion Gregor Graham playing in the Amateur Championship up at Nairn. There was also a new face for this year's tournaments, so here to keep us up to date with the leaders is Foundation Ambassador and new roving reporter Caris Irvin.
We're at the Stephen Gallacher Foundation Vase. The leading group has just teed off with the leader Libby Bell with a 5-shot lead.
Making the trip all the way from the northeast of England, Libby Bell was enjoying her golf over the opening 2 days, but with conditions so tough, her playing partners, Bailey Pike from Overstone Park down in the Midlands, and Grace Crawford from North Berwick, would fancy their chances of closing that 5-shot gap. And what about the trophy for the boys? Back over to you, Caris.
Final group at the Stephen Gallacher Foundation Trophy, the boys event, is just about to tee off behind me. The 3 leaders are Conor Graham, Cormac Sharp and Archie Finney. And Conor Graham from Blairgowrie has a 3-shot lead going into the final round.
So the scene was set in the bright and breezy Scottish weather for a fascinating final day's play. We'll concentrate on the Vase first, and we can catch up with the leaders at the par 3 7th. Libby Bell couldn't be accused of trying to protect her lead. Her rather bold tee shot leaving an awkward chip back onto the green after firing through as she tried to save her par. Bailey Pike had hit the green and came close here with her birdie attempt, but she would have to settle for a 3. One of the furthest travelled golfers for the weekend's play, all the way up from near Northampton, and trying desperately to hang on to the 2 leaders, which were Libby Bell and now Grace Crawford, although she had this to save her par. Running over the hole, a shake of the head, trying hard to close that gap. The golfers really having to grind it out in these conditions as they headed for the turn. There was to be no final day heroics for last year's winner, Megan Docherty. She would finish in 6th place after a disappointing final round. Still here on 9, Zara Naughton was faring a bit better though. A birdie opportunity here from no more than 8 or 9 feet. It drops, and that would help her to a 5th place finish for this year's tournament. The leaders now coming down behind them on the par 5 9th. And what about this shot from Bailey Pike? A brilliant second shot, long iron from the fairway, leaving an eagle opportunity as she tried to close the gap up the top of the leaderboard. In the end, she would have to settle for a birdie 4. Grace Crawford would give herself a chance at birdie after this nice chip on from near the wall. The putt wouldn't drop though, it was a par 5. This was Libby Bell's 4th shot from the back of the green, nicely played, and she too would hole out for her par. Things very tight at the top of the leaderboard now. Libby Bell beginning to feel the pressure, up to 15, and again she was having to scramble to try and stay out in front. A nice shot there from the bunker. Things not going too smoothly though. Like I say, all the golfers having to grind it out. This was Grace Crawford needing this putt after missing the green for her par. Both golfers would get their par here at the 15th. It was time to move up to the final hole. The tough 18th. although Kirsten Miller was making it look a little bit too easy, rolling in this putt just as she finished nicely inside the top 10 in 8th place. But as you can see, the wind really was staying pretty strong, making this tough closing hole, well, even tougher. Ruby Watt had fallen foul of the breeze to end up in the greenside bunker, but the golfer based at the Paul Laurie Golf Centre showed a nice touch with her shot from the sand and would finish the tournament in 4th place. Back down the fairway and the leaders, reaching the final hole, and Grace Crawford by this point had managed to get a one-shot lead over Libby Bell and was now looking to close out the victory with a solid approach up the hill onto a green that was proving very hard to hit. So what could Libby Bell do to reply? Well, her approach had run off the edge and she was now faced with the prospect of holing this shot to try and force a playoff. But the putt stayed out, meaning that Grace Crawford had 2 putts to win the Stephen Gallacher Foundation Vase for 2021. This for birdie. And she would only need the 1 putt, and it went. A great victory for Grace. Libby Bell second, Bailey Pike third, and time for an interview with Caris.
So I'm here with the winner of the Stephen Gallacher Foundation Vase, Grace Crawford. How does it feel to win?
It's good to get a win, definitely. I'm not sure I deserved it, to be totally honest, but no, it was good, yeah.
Tell us about the course, the conditions, what got you your victory?
Well, for the first and the last day, definitely keeping the ball straight was the key off the tee. Just figuring out where to land it on the approach shots was pretty much it, yeah. It was good to just make a birdie on the last, which was a nice way to finish the tournament, I think, yeah.
So how did you enjoy the event and taking part in other foundation events?
I love the foundation. I've been playing these events since I've been tiny, so no, it's definitely good. It's good to get people, more juniors into golf especially, but no, I really like this event, so good to get a win from it, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so to the boys in the Stephen Gallacher Foundation Trophy. Jamie Gibb from Aboyne started the day 5 shots off the lead, which as Grace Crawford had shown could be closed, and this birdie putt at 2 would certainly help. It wasn't to be for Jamie though, and he would finish the day in a tie for 5th place. 36-hole leader Connor Graham from Blair Gowrie was determined to add to his long list of growing titles, and this was his approach at the second. Nicely played. Out alongside Archie Finney, who was trying his very best to keep in touch, but he had been slightly more wayward with his approach. A nice chip over the bunker, but it would be a bogey for the golfer playing out of Royal Burgess. This was Connor's birdie putt, and he would see it home and had a real spring in his step as the final group headed off onto the 3rd. Up ahead at the 9th, and Jamie Dean all the way from Wales. Well, he was going well. This his birdie putt at the par 5, but he would have to settle for a par. On his way to finishing 4th. A good result, and hopefully worth the journey all the way from Carmarthen. Out behind, and the leaders coming down 9, this was Archie Finney. He'd put his drive into the first cut of rough on the left hand side, but despite that he would play an excellent second shot, just rolling off to the edge of the green but staying out the bunker. Nicely played. Cormac Sharp's approach had come up just short of the green. Another golfer from Blair Gowrie. And a very nice touch shown with the putter. He would see that home for his birdie here on 9. Keeping in touch with Connor at the top of the leaderboard. These two know each other well from both playing out of Blairgowrie. This was Archie Finney's eagle attempt though, and it would drop as he made his move to try and get his name on the trophy alongside others such as Ewan Ferguson and Connor's brother Gregor, who won it last year. Connor Graham's birdie putt coming up short. Difficult to judge the pace and the line with that wind blowing. And Cormac Sharp and Archie Finney really kept the pressure on Connor as the day went on. So by the time they reached the final hole, Archie had a 2-shot lead. However, he rather fluffed his third shot after missing the green, and he was leaving himself a lot of work to do to get over the line. So could Connor hole out for a 3 to perhaps force a playoff at least? Well, not quite. A good attempt. What about Cormac Sharp? Well, he'd missed to the other side, and look at this, a great shot for a birdie 3. Oh, so close. And he would have felt that would have to go in, because that meant that Archie Finney had 2 shots to get up and down from here to win the Stephen Gallacher Foundation trophy. But why take 2 when you can roll it in 1? A great putt, a great win, and another interview with Caris.
So I'm here with the winner of the Stephen Gallacher Foundation trophy, Archie Finney. How does it feel to be the champion?
It feels great. I got off to a tough start today, but I just battled my way through it, and yeah, I've just been looking forward to this event for ages and just so glad I could finally win something like this.
So tell us about the course, conditions, what was the key to having a really low score?
The course was very firm and fast. Greens were very good actually, but I think wedges were the keys this week.
How did you enjoy playing in this event and other foundation events?
Oh, I love it. I mean, Scott Knowles and all the people at Stephen Gallacher Foundation just run great events, and we as players always look forward to them. It's great to be having these competitions in these times as well, so just looking forward to the next one. I'm very glad I won this week.
So a great long putt to finish. Did you know it was an important putt?
Yeah, so I knew Cormac was 2 behind me, and then I duffed my first chip, and then he was in for 4, so I knew it was a 2-putt to win. And yeah, I honestly was just trying to 2-putt, but I was just very glad to see it go in. It was a rush of adrenaline.
Well, congratulations on the win.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations indeed to Archie Finney from Royal Burgess, winner of the Stephen Gallacher Foundation trophy, and Grace Crawford from North Berwick, the winner of the Stephen Gallacher Foundation Vase.